All right, everybody, how's my quad squad doing? It's the man, the myth, the legend, Quad MFT here, coming at you guys with another really breaking Black Ops 3 video. Now, today we're going to be covering the brand new patch notes that literally came out 10 minutes ago. We're going to be covering the 1.09 patch notes, and boy, have we got a lot to cover. So I'm going to link these down in the description below if you guys want to make sure to read up a little bit more on your own. Personally, you guys can go ahead and do that, although I am going to be covering everything specialist related, kill streak related, and weapon related. So what we're taking a look at right now is everybody's favorite, the weapons first. So the first one we're taking a look at is the submachine guns. First off, we've got the Kuda, which has a reduced one-hit kill range in hardcore, so that only affects people in hardcore, and the laser sight bonus, more aligned with bonus received on other SMGs. So I think they're probably going to buff the laser sight for the Kuda, and then they reduce the ADS movement but no longer lose speed while firing. So it doesn't sound like they did a lot to the Kuda unless you play a lot in hardcore. And then for the VMP, they reduced ADS movement and no longer lose speed while firing. So I think overall you'd call that a VMP nerf. Not a huge one, but definitely a VMP nerf. And then for the Weevil, finally, hashtag buff the Weevil from Nade Shot. They removed speed reduction while firing. They increased the ADS speed, increased sprint recovery speed, and increased the 5-hit kill range. So it sounds like the Weevil actually got quite a hefty buff. So if you're a Weevil user, you're probably going to become even more of a Weevil user. Now, next one for the Vesper. Everybody's in the beginning of Black Ops 3, everybody's favorite SMG, everybody loved it. The Vesper, they removed the speed reduction while firing. They increased the ADS speed, increased sprint recovery speed, and increased ability to control recoil. So definitely a really big Vesper buff, and I do think that it was needed because originally when Black Ops 3 came out, Vesper was the best gun in the game without a doubt, and then they nerfed it and made it the worst gun in the game, literally the worst gun in the game. It was performing as the worst gun in the game, actually. David Vonderhaar said that in one of my videos a few days ago. He actually said it's one of the worst guns in the game, definitely the worst SMG in all Black Ops 3, so it needed a buff because it was unusable. It wasn't good. So again, they removed the speed reduction while firing, increased ADS speed, increased sprint recovery speed, and increased the ability to control recoil. So they lowered the recoil. You can recover faster after sprinting, and it aims down sight faster. So it sounds like the Vesper is going to be back to normal, at least. I hope it's not overpowered, but I hope it's not useless like it was before. Next up, we've got the Pharaoh. So Pharaoh, being one of my favorite submachine guns, it actually got a buff. They removed the speed reduction while firing and also increased ADS speed. So definitely a good look, a good knock to the Pharaoh, which I'm glad. I'm glad that they buffed it a little bit because it was good. It wasn't amazing, but it was good, and now it's even a little bit better. So I'm looking forward to using the Pharaoh a little bit more. Next one, we've got the Razorback, which removed speed reduction while firing, increased the 4-hit kill range, and reduced the 1-hit kill range in hardcore. So it sounds, for some reason, it may not be as good in it, or I don't really know about the hardcore situation, but for sure they removed the speed reduction while firing and increased the 4-hit kill range. So definitely a buff for the Razorback. Sounds like a lot of the submachine guns got a buff, excluding the Kuda. So I'm looking forward to using the Razorback, the Vesper, the Weevil, the Pharaoh a little bit more. Very, very much so looking forward to that. And for you lucky people out there who managed to get the HG40, they increased the 3-hit kill damage range. So it sounds like the HG40 got a buff, which I think it needed, because from how many times I used it in custom games or picked it up in a match, it really wasn't that good. Although it was fun to use, and fun to use a gun that you never really get to use, I definitely think that the HG40 needed a little bit of a buff. Next up, we've got the assault rifles with the HVK 30, increased sprint recovery speed, increased aim stability, and increased the recoil stability. So they buffed the HVK, definitely needed. The HVK sucked. It really did. You know, you try to give it a chance, you use it, you're like, oh, I did okay that game. And then you use it and you compare it to things like the ICR or the KN44 or the M8A7, and you realize how much you wish you weren't using the HVK. Now, next up, we've got the ICR1, where they increased recoil stability. It really seems like they upped the ICR every single patch, so I'm going to have to see. I'll make a video possibly about the ICR being a god gun. I'll look a little bit more into it and get some gameplay with it. Next up, we've got the Shiva, and they increased the ADS speed and increased flinch stability. Rapid fire now functions properly, so it sounds like rapid fire really wasn't good for the Shiva before. It sounds like it wasn't even used at all. So they buffed the Shiva. I'm looking forward to that. I really did enjoy the Shiva. It was fun to switch it up, and it was a good weapon. So the Shiva is now even better. I'm looking forward to that. And for the MX Grand, again, people who are lucky and have actually opened up the MX Grand and a supply drop, big props to you. I wish I was you. Increase the fire rate, now performs better with rapid fire. So it sounds better. It sounds like the MX Grand actually got a buff, and I'm looking forward to that. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. So now the MX Grand is a little bit more usable. Now, next up for the shotguns, we've got the KRM, the shotgun that everybody hates because it sucks. We've got increased 1-hit kill range potential, so definitely a big buff to the KRM. Looking forward to that. Actually, another usable shotgun. And the next up, we've got the Haymaker 12, which is another good shotgun that I recently got gold, so I'm looking forward to that, working on my diamond shotguns for Dark Matter. They increased the 3-hit kill range, so awesome. Haymaker got a little bit of a buff, and you're going to be surprised here. What patch haven't they buffed the Argus? They increased the 1-hit kill range potential while hip firing. So Everybody knew if you use the Argus at all, you need to aim down sights. You'll get a lot more one-hit kills. So now the hip firing seems to be a little bit better, which I'm happy. I don't really know why ADSing and hip firing made that big of a difference, but if you wanted to do well with the Argus, you had to aim down sights. So they buffed the Argus, buffed the Haymaker, buffed the KRM, lots of shotgun buffs, not much done to the 205 Brecci. And then for the light machine guns, we've got the BRM, the first LMG to unlock, increase ADS outspeed and increase recoil stability, so a buff to that. The Dingo increases tightness of bullet spread while aim down sight, increased hip fire accuracy, big buff to the Dingo. And for the Gorgon, the gun that was OP within the first week of Black Ops 3, and then they nerfed it, they increased ADS outspeed, increased recoil stability, and increased damage. Excuse me, that was weird. Increased damage through light cover. So a buff to the Gorgon, not a huge one, but definitely a buff. And then for the 48 Dredge, the hidden killing machine. This thing right in the beginning of Black Ops 3. So many things in the beginning of Black Ops 3 were so good that not a lot of people use, but the 48 Dredge got a buff. They increased the fire rate, increased ADS outspeed, which is pretty cool. So I'm glad that they buffed so many weapons. I like it a lot more than them nerfing all the good weapons, because I've talked about this before, and it just makes the game a lot more fun when they have good weapons, not just a bunch of crappy weapons. So looking forward to that. I'm very excited with all those weapon changes in Black Ops 3. So right now, guys, by the way, this is live. I'm not like predicting it. This is completely live. So if you update anywhere on Black Ops 3, you're probably playing in 1.09. So next up for the specialist in general, they've got reduced specialist earn rate in the hardpoint game type. For the Reaper, they reduced accuracy when firing unzoomed. And for the Reaper also, they reduced the ammo count from 120 to 100. And for the Outrider, they increased the first raise speed. They increased ADS speed, increased sprint recovery speed, and increased ammo count from 8 to 10. So it sounds like the Outrider specialist got a huge buff. I'm definitely going to have to check that one out. And for the Spectre, they reduced leftover power when Spectre is killed while Ripper's active. Not really quite sure what that means. For the Ruin, they increased overdrive earn rate, so you earn it a little bit faster. For the Nomad, they increased rejack earn rate. Not looking forward to that one. For the Reaper, they increased psychosis earn rate, which nobody really uses, but when you do, it's a little bit weird and confusing. For Firebreak, they reduced the heat wave earn rate. All right, I can understand that. And for Battery, they reduced the kinetic armor earn rate. So they nerfed kinetic armor, nerfed heat wave. They also nerfed Spectre a little bit, and they nerfed Reaper. But it sounds like they buffed the hell out of Psychosis, Rejack, Reaper, and a lot out of Outrider, the most out of Outrider. So there's the specialist. I don't think we have too much going on with the kill streaks, just a few little changes. Also for zombies, they had some general changes and also a few updates for the new Eclipse map pack going live tonight at midnight. So if you guys want to see that, I'm actually going to be live streaming it tonight at midnight with you guys. Also for the attachments with the laser sight, they increased the accuracy bonus received from the laser sight, so laser sight's a little bit better. For the Recon, the BOA, the Thermal, and the Ballistic CPU, they increased recoil stability. And right here we've got for the score streaks, Rolling Thunder, increased drone count, and increased entry speed, so it sounds like the Rolling Thunder got a buff. For the Raps deploy ship, not the actual streak, they increased drone count per drop, so a little bit more drones. And then for the Raps drones, they increased the movement speed of the drones, so it sounds like the drones and the Raps got a buff. So that's kind of cool. Lots of stuff going on in 1.09. Make sure to check the link down in the description below if you guys want to read it for yourself and you don't believe me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to pump it out as quickly as possible, and I stuttered a bunch on this commentary. It looks like I've had too much caffeine. Don't forget to drop a like or any if you guys enjoyed any time throughout. Don't forget to subscribe and join the Quad Squad. It's going to work. What I have TPs. How about bye?